And we are back. This time doing the Shadow Labs, a dungeon that I actually really enjoy a lot. The mage went to do the refreshment portal and I pulled. So as you can see, we just got in. So I'll join in the refreshments table. Myself some Druid mana biscuits. And we should pretty much be good. So anyway, the Shadow Labs, I really like this dungeon. It's just, it's one of the few Arcanine dungeons that's actually like built in a way that kind of tells a story. Anyway, not a great first pack. I had no rage to do a melee attack, and yet. Anyway, with the mobs, so it's all actually pretty simple. Actually, the acolytes heal, so we kill them first. So in short, you want to mark the acolytes as skull and cross, and as long as you do that, you should be good. The hunter, once again, is unable to hold up on multi-shot just a tiny bit. And we should be good. And unable to target the cross either. You deserve to get smacked a bit, Mr. Hunter. So this guy I'm not pretty happy with already. But you know, that's alright. The Death Sworn don't really do anything, so you know, they're pretty low priority. Otherwise, I'm just gonna clear this entire dungeon since we need the rep. I'm gonna have to do a couple more of these Shadow Labs afterwards. I've already done Shadow Labs like 3 times. But you know, I actually don't mind it since I actually really like this dungeon. Haven't gotten a single piece of loot out of it though. Hoping that changes at some point. So yeah, pretty much the Shadow Labs doesn't really do anything. If you're not gonna fear death, dude, why? Maybe he just wants to trap. That's fine. I don't mind that. Yeah, as you can see, we've got a pretty good group. We've got a Resto Druid, me as a Feral Druid, a Hunter, a Mage, and a Rogue. Overall, there's really not too much to comment on. It's a pretty solid group, to be honest. Mage is just going to take some time to do the stuff that you kind of expect. Anyway, now I've actually got enough damage on the cross target. We should be good. Interrupt the heal with Feral Charge, and all good to go. The Hunter does not let me get any damage. So this group is kind of pumpers in many ways. Kill this and good. Oh, they also enrage at low health, but you know, it's still one of those who really cares. We have a new mob, the Warlock. The Warlock just has pets, otherwise it doesn't really do anything too interesting. The Fell Hound will silence people. That's really it. Otherwise, like, you don't really care too much about the Warlocks. They kind of don't matter too much. I'm just gonna pull Rage for the next pack, and we're gonna use this pillar for LOS for the next pack as well. It's a good, well-placed pillar. So we're gonna pull that around the corner. All the imps come. The mage is just gonna go crazy on that one. Just gonna throw a charge and let the mage deal with the imps, because I can't take that. You also get a good amount of stuff for outdoor rep as well. So it's all pretty easy. Like, this is a really great dungeon for being outdoor. Oh, we got the healer mob. I'm just gonna mark this as skull, just because I want people to kill it. It does seem like people are actually swapping though, so I'm pretty happy about that. Well, no. Too hard to do a target swap. Yeah, you don't often see your mages arcane spect. And let them get some mana while the rest of us just continue to pull. Oh, this was a 4-pack, I didn't actually realize. Mage has got a bit of mana. Anyway, I've got enough fret on the skull. So now we're just making sure that we can continue to tank. Alright, cool. Walt's gonna die soon. And we've done the first room. Oh, pretty easy, good stuff. Druid is taking the lichen. That is okay. Yep, so we got a couple of herbers here. It's not that much gold, to be honest. So I just kind of ignore it. Not really worth the hassle. And we got our next room. So part of the reason I like the Shadow Lab so much is just that each of these rooms just kind of tell a story. So the first room is like, as you enter the dungeon, it's clear that they're kind of under siege. Oh shit. Fuck. Now so the thing that makes these kind of scary is that they fear, and you can pull some mobs accidentally, way too many mobs, and that causes issues. Now, these ritualists are a bit of an interesting case, as they will, based on their weapon, they have different abilities. So these ones have double daggers, which means they're more or less a rogue, which means they gouge, and that's really annoying, especially when you have an overseer on them. How the fuck did that pull? Otherwise, you've got like arcane mages, you've got other mages, and this is just an absolute disaster. So anyway, the frost mages don't really do anything. The arcane mages, they will do this at all humidor thing, which is kind of annoying. But otherwise, it's all good. A druid is a bloody good healer, so can't really complain about heals so far. Don't know, I think the hunter pet with the fear. But anyway, we're doing pretty well. Mage just trying to do whatever mana, just do whatever damage you can. And we managed to survive. I'm gonna give you a nice innovation, just so we can continue to pull to some degree. You can just kind of see that a druid's already at full fucking mana just by not casting it. It's so good. I love this ability. I did some bad placement as well. Alright, cool. So we've got our ritualists. So we've got a fire one. The small fire sword is a... So the small fire sword means that it's like fire. The arcane staff with an enchant is arcane, and yeah, so pretty much the arcane mages they'll kind of like stun they'll stun someone and they'll cast arcane missiles. Really, who cares? Not that big of a deal. The frost mages, they cast frostbolt. Fire mages cast fire buffet, which doesn't really hurt that much, so it's not that big of a deal. And the rogues will gouge. That is this entire trash pack. And I'm going to pull this all the way, because I am very scared of accidentally pulling an extra one. Anyway, it looks like we're good. I am also herb. I'd like third. Alright, cool. I'm getting on the gravy train for the Lichen. Can't tank, doesn't have time to loot. Alright. Apparently I'm not allowed to tank it since I has to tank. But yeah, overseers don't really do anything too much. A bit of a knockback, fear, just a lot of HP, and an AoE fear is the main thing you have to watch out for. So with this, it looks like we got 2 arcane mages and a frost mage, and so that's gonna get stunned. The pathing is just completely busted. And now we'll take it behind a hill, and our mage is just getting chain stunned. So I interrupted that, so that is all good. And now we're just gonna kill. And after that, I'll probably pull the guy, but maybe I'll let the mage get some mana. Arcane mages tend not to have great mana at the moment, so you know, just gonna let them get mana, and then we can do the overseer. Yeah, that's gonna take a while. I'm impatient. I'm just gonna pull. Lacerates on, and a mangle. Now I've got pretty much solid threat. Just gonna pull back just in case we get like the worst fear RNG pathing. But you can see it hits a bit harder than your average mob, otherwise it doesn't really do much. It just has a lot of HP. It's also like really easy to spend rage, but you know. My least favorite mob of the dungeon, since it's really not that interesting. Alright, next we've got our 2 other sets of ritualists, but a double dagger one, which I want to kill as quickly as we can, because I really hate the gouge, and we've got 2 arcanes. There's the gouge, I lose, and our rogue is being stunned. That's not great. I mean, I would say that these mobs are more deadly than annoying. I mean, it really needs to just do as much mana as he can. So we got a frost and arcane and a fire. I'm just gonna mark the fire as the skull. None of these are particularly scary, so it's just whatever's most convenient to tank, to be honest. You don't really need to think too much about which one needs to be tanked first. I mean, maybe I'd prioritize the arcane mages since the stun can slow you down a tiny bit, but to be honest, you're not gonna be too concerned over it. Anyway, I'm just gonna save some rage for this next boss. So the next boss, Ambassador Hellmaw. What does Ambassador Hellmaw do? He does a AoE frontal cone, acid thing, which does damage, and an AoE fear. That is the boss. It is really, really kind of not interesting. So I'm gonna face it away from the group because of the AoE cone, and we don't have enhancement shamans in this group, so I don't have to worry too much on Fred, which is nice for a change. But our mages almost made me take my words back. And there is the fear, a bit annoying, but you know, it's all good. Just going to face it away from the group, and we're good again. Just need to make sure that I get healed by the Druid, and yep, looks like we're all good. Mage almost getting getting all the aggro, but the mage is now owned. And I've managed to somehow maintain fret over this entire course. But anyway, that's the boss. So we got Paladin boots. They're not very interesting. Certainly not the most interesting loot. But anyway, we now have the next room, which has packs of 5. Or it can have packs of 5. And we got these patrolling malicious instructors. So let's talk about the new mobs. We got cultists. These don't do anything except attack a bit harder and faster. And the Shadow Priest will Shadow Word Pain and Mind Flay. These actually kind of hit quite hard, so I tend to view them as a slightly higher priority threat. We've also got the Malicious Instructors, which are kind of like the Felguard, but they hit a bit harder, a little bit less HP. And they also have this Mark of Malice, which just means they hit you a bit harder for a short period of time. As you can see, the Druid is... Our healer is just kind of like, oh wow, you're at 30% HP. That is sort of what it feels like to tank these things. You really want to keep aggro on this. They do actually hit reasonably hard. Now, with these, I tend to try and keep the Shadow Priest sheeped. The Acolytes are still definitely our top priority as a healer, but you know, I'm just going to, if a trap is going to be laid down, I will let it happen. So now I have managed to try and maintain aggro. I think cultists would be the next priority, just due to so I think the cultists hit a little bit harder than the Death Sworn, and the Death Sworn have a enrage at the end, so it's just like, okay, cool, they're not really that scary until you leave them to last, and even then, they don't hit that hard. Like, who really cares? Plus 70 damage, 30% attack speed. We can survive without it. So, our mage is going to get mana back. I'll wait for the trap. I'll pull into trap. Cool. Alright, cool. Just gonna do a regular fairy fire. Rejuvenation for some tiny mana threat, and oh, we're gonna turn this 5-pack into a 3-pack. Much easier. So cool. We're gonna kill the next acolyte. Oh, easy. Get a mangle on that. I won't be able to. Oh, I somehow got Fred again of the Death Swan, so that's all pretty good. Got a taunt for that. It's magic damage, so I'm less concerned about the mage. Like, it's high damage, but it's not high compared to a melee attacking the mage. So we're all pretty good for the moment. And yeah, there we go. Just gonna wait for them to get some mana. And I think we are good. So I led one of the non-kill targets into the trap, so that's all pretty good. We are not tanking any of them at the moment. Well, this Shadow Freeze at least. Not going nearly as well. I just have to try and look. I'm just gonna let the mage deal with that one while I keep the rest of the party safe. There we go. Got a stun out. Yeah, like if you can't cheat, run back. No res. Or we just use our battle res, which is fine. Yep, Druids. Druids don't have a resurrection until Wrath of the Lich King. We got battle res, but this is. I know if you're gonna add a spell, I think resurrections on Druids would be a very nice addition. Anyway, got our next Instructor. We want to pull this when we get the chances, because these really suck if you pull them with additional packs. Got the Mark of Malice. Oh, pretty easy. As long as I've got hots on me, I'm pretty much good. Alright, all pretty good. I'm gonna get him to sheep the Warlock, because it's kind of annoying, but at the same time...
I can't do that yet.
So I guess technically that's like a 6-pack, if you count the pet. I guess I'd still call it a 5-pack. But yeah, a good chunk of upfront damage, and stuns do not help at all. Just trying to keep some form of threat on the skull target, and now we do our best to mangle the everyone. I do not know how I've kept threat this entire time, but the mage is about to get threat on that. I am going to... I'm gonna get threat on the Shadow Priest, and like we're going pretty well in this dungeon. This is quite a nice group actually. Pretty happy. Had some shockers previously, but actually all my Shadow Labs groups have been pretty brilliant. Alright, looks like we've got a double Death Swan, so you know, just pull. Who cares? Easy pack. Loot your herb, Mr. Bear. Oh yeah, there's the ancient Viking. Cool. Went back right as we were about to get it. I think that my next dungeon is just going to be Botanica, since I really want the Druid weapon at the end. So I think that's the only time a Druid weapon actually, like a feral Druid weapon drops in a dungeon. It's Botanica. It takes that long for another dungeon drop. Alright, so these are awful. I kind of just have to wait for this to path around. Because if I pull this with this pack, it's pretty much a guaranteed wipe. I'm just gonna wait. Oh. And bring it back. Alright, cool. Looks like we're good now. And I got some decent threat on it, so should be fine. Unless the mage goes absolutely crazy. But I mean, it's only 3 levels higher than me. 4 levels higher ones are a bit rough to tank. There's a lot of misses and parries. And dodges. That all seems to be pretty good. So there it is, dead. Gonna get them to sheep the warlock as well. So I'm just going to oh, what did you do, Mr. Mage? I'm gonna actually have to save you. Alright, gonna stun the healer there, just to make sure it's all good. Someone really needs to kill the maiden. It looks like that's what the hunter's doing, so good on the hunter. And then I should have enough threat for everything else. So I have noticed what's kind of funny though, is that the Shadow Word Pain in Shadow Labs hits for like 40% of... It hits for 40% of what it does in Mana Tombs. Like, the Shadow Word Pain in Mana Tombs normal hits for 1k per tick. These ones only hit for 400. I don't really understand the tuning. And I think this is our last pack of the room. What's kind of fortunate is that this is like 70% of the trash. So it's all pretty, pretty much once we're done with this, the rest of the dungeon's pretty short. And we got our chest. I wonder if it will drop a blue this time. I've had this BOE leather chest drop and it's been won by a hunter and a shaman. Haven't been too happy about it. But you know, I am in tank gear, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, we got Nature's Wrath. It's gonna pick up the healing potion since technically I may need them at some point. Otherwise, this is the Time for Fun boss. He will charge people, lose threat, all the good stuff that's kind of just annoying for a tank, and then at some point he will MC everyone and everyone will attack everyone, and we just hope that people just don't die. The mage I'm a bit scared about. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see how we go. So this is Blackheart the Inciter. This boss is terrifying. Or at least he makes you your own party member. And it's one of those kind of fun things where the less geared your group is, the better, because it's less likely that you'll kill each other. So So at the moment everyone's MC'd, and now we just have to survive for 5 more seconds until we get back. And you can just see this, like, the healer pre-hotted everyone, so there's no issue with Fred whatsoever. But it's also a Fred drop, which means I have to get ahead, but you know, I'm pretty ahead right now, so that's not too bad. And the Druid has, like, got lots of mana. So there is this Fret drop, and being 4 levels below, Taunt has a pretty high chance to resist. Alright, so we managed to win back Fret, so all good. Trying to get that Lacerate up. We may get one more time for fun, but we may kill it before then. I mean, as long as you survive that one ability, you're pretty much good. And looks like we were pretty good. I've seen this one drop every single time. I don't have a lot of gear that I really want off this. I mean, I think that the first boss, no, the second boss, actually I do want the trinket and the cloak, but haven't had them. And also, unironically, I would take the gloves as well. Just for like PvP. Since I don't think having multi-stat is that bad. So I think this is our last Fell Overseer that we have to kill. Otherwise, I think that's it for all of the big mobs. Looks like I've lost aggro. Yeah, we're just killing it. And our mage is going pretty ham. Beard again, not too much fun. Alright, keeping Lacerate up. So it looks like we're all good now. And honestly, I don't think I'm gonna hit 69 by the end of this dungeon, actually. Who knows, I may. There's a good amount of mobs left, but honestly we're actually almost done. The next, yeah, we got another 3-pack. Well, it depends what you pull. You can very easily accidentally turn this into a 5-pack based on who you pull. You always want to pull the person on the very end because they have a higher aggro range. Right, looks like we interrupted that heal. It actually does heal for a fair bit if it goes off. So, good to always interrupt it. Murmur Brilliance too. This mage has just lost her fucking marbles. Very, very excited. I'm gonna have to actually say grats. Grats. Oh, Feign Death, the Hunter Feign Death, so all good. Gonna just get aggro on the other one. Make sure that I've got a good mangle. Well, anyway, the mob died, so it doesn't matter that I missed it. And the rogue kicked, so all good. I hope everyone likes being intelligent. You're backing. Exciting times ahead for us. So I got this extra skeleton that I think spawns, but it's not spawning, so okay. I think this one spawns. Anyway, we got our next type of mob. So we got Fanatics, they don't really do anything, and we got Zealots. So what Zealots will do is at low HP, they will transform into this like green core hound. Alright, you need a feign death, mate. I do not. And they hit really hard, so kinda want to make sure that you kill them first, or you don't let the buff go up entirely, because they gain huge amounts of melee attack power. In addition to that, their attack speed goes up by like, I don't know, 100%. Or I think it may actually decrease their time, I forget. But anyway, they hit a lot harder in the core hound form, and you want to watch out for that. Otherwise, it's fine. Mage gonna use whatever mana she has. I'll let her actually get some mana. This. Anyway, we'll kill the Fanatic. I guess we'll kill the Fanatics last, since I'm not really seeing the threat. I don't really know what the Fanatics do. They just hit. I just like Cultist 2.0 with like slightly higher armor. Okay, get that now. Oh yeah, so you can see that the mage has the buff now. Our mage is a core hound and is going completely crazy. So it can be spell stolen, which is always fun. I don't know how much damage is actually being done, or if it's actually like casting spells or not. Let me see, yeah. Time between attacks decreased by 100%, attack power increased by 750. So, I mean, we don't have a magic dispel. Not the best thing to spell steal, lol. So, that's not great for our AoE capacity. Attack speed. Yeah. No spell. No spells though. I would like your AoE. Your AoE, please. So is this mage gonna cancel the shape of the beast? Soon? You can, but an attack speed reduction of 100%. Yeah, it's pretty shit. So let's see, are we going to survive this? Alright, cool. The mage is just going to... Alright, the mage is managing to barely survive this. I can't tank this, but you know, good way to deal with the packs. So, I'm gonna wait for this patrol. Yeah, that's... Mage is fun. So we're gonna make sure that, alright, so our mage is back to the spell stealing, which is, I mean, yeah, whatever. Let the mage have their fun. I don't really feel like CC, I just want to tank large amounts of mobs, so I'm gonna kill that. Back on the cultists. The cultists and the fanatics, like, as you can see, they're just standard melee hitting mobs which don't do anything. The only real difference I see is that the cultists will actually run. While alright, cool. Mage is gonna deal with the skeleton, contributing huge amounts to our DPS. And also just yeah, I mean, I can't go there, so I'm just gonna grab that now. That turns into the form, that gets spell stolen, and the mage is back to being a core hound. Is it actually good damage? Probably not. But it's okay to have fun at everybody else's expense. Oh, I lost some aggro on that one. Well, that's done. Okay, so let everyone get HP and we'll do our next boss while I loot this chest. So the next boss is actually really cool. He will summon a bunch of void walkers which will run towards him, and if they get to them, I don't actually know. I've never let it happen, but apparently it's very bad. He also summons people into the center and does a rain of fire, which is kind of like, it's a cool ability. I like it. And that is pretty much the fight. It's just like a couple of interesting mechanics that make the boss just a little bit different. But you know what, it's still a Burning Crusade boss. Mechanics are pretty basic. Oh, I've lost aggro since the mango missed, but I'm managing to keep it. So you can see the kind of like the things on the ground. They're gonna summon ads, and yep, mage is just on top of it. There's also a shadow bolt volley, which doesn't really matter too much in the Burning Crusade. I know that in vanilla is kind of like a real pain to deal with, since everything was really mana expensive, but you know, I could barely even, but well, now we just run out of the rain of fire, even though it's only like 1,000, like it's a total of like 5,000 damage, so who really cares? But yeah, you kill the void travelers, because I don't actually know. You'll probably never get to witness it happen. Maybe it heals, maybe it doesn't. Hard to tell. Anyway, one more boss. But yeah, as I kind of said before, I like the Shadow Labyrinth because it kind of tells a story where the first bit is this kind of the holdout on being taken from the front, then you've got this ritual hall, then you got the lectural hall, then you got this Grandmaster where only the most devout, and then you've got, oh shit, we've summoned this monster, which you'll see right there, Murmur. That is the final boss. Anyway, Executioners. They do a whirlwind ability. As a tank, you don't have to care too much about it. As a melee, maybe you want to run away from it. Since it's a bit of damage, but you know. Also, they're a bit higher level than the rest of the mobs, so yeah. Now, the summoners, they will summon elite mobs that you've already kind of seen before. And the Spine Menders, they do a spell cast, but they also do a channeled mind control, which is, like, it's easy to prevent, but I would say that alone puts them as the highest priority target. So we're going to wait for that. And it looks like we are just going to allow... Yeah, a bit late on the no man, I'm just gonna let... Alright, that was not great. When you expect CC and you don't get it, not great. But the mage has got to get his mana. Alright, I'm just gonna wait for my want to come off cooldown, and we're good. So yeah, the summoners will summon mobs, kind of like what you expect in Blackwing Lair. I think this Spellbinder should die. Yes, no, maybe. I'm gonna pull it solo, and we got all of them. Thank you for the sheep. All that got interrupted, so I'm just gonna get aggro on it. I am going to make sure that our healer doesn't get hit. That is first priority. Oh no, and we got the it looks like we got ourselves the someone actually went out. Oh, thank you for getting that. Put the interrupt. We'll get that. The mage has killed the summoner solo, so we managed to salvage this terrible pull. And I'll just get the extra executioner. Risk Care has to go AFK. Looks like that's already been done. Oh. Yep, got our last Spellbinder. So, normally I'm not used to these pulls being 5-packs either. But you know, sometimes you mess up. Oh, my herb. Where is my herb? There we go. Ancient Legend. I just kind of like forget in general. So, once the mage comes back, in fact, we may not wait for the mage at all. We may just do it as a 4-man. The only thing I kind of want is the summoner to die. Oh, actually, yeah, I'm just going to let that be sheep. And we're going to pull the, Alright, cool. Looks like this will now be our sheep. And the hunter has completely fucking failed his trap. There we go. The hunter has let it back in. Now this will be a very smooth pull where I still lose aggro from heals. Well, it looks like we're all pretty good. Alright, I'll get that. Good trap, Mr. Hunter.
And yeah. So, last Spellbinder. Brainwash, kind of annoying. Immediately kicked by our rogue, so no big deal. And I think we just want to tank the rest of these Spellbinders. So that's what we're gonna do. It's gonna mark them as Skull and Cross, as kill targets. And just get a little bit of additional threat, and back to our Skull. Alright. Looks like that was a successful trap by our hunter, so I don't mind. And we have the final boss, Murmur, the creature that was summoned. So Murmur is a pretty interesting boss, a lot more stressful for the healer. Just gonna remind them that I need to do the Caraboss after him. So pretty much, I think he casts a detonation on people and they have to stand away. You don't really see this as a tank, but the healer is going to be very aware of it. Also, it does a big sonic boom, which means you've got to get out. So anyway, I'm just going to pre-hot because I want threat. And we are going to continue. It hits pretty slow and hard, so, you know, just be careful. Regardless, I'm just going to enrage because I want threat. And I have no doubts of our healer's ability to heal. Anyway, it looks like the damage is good. I just have to pay attention to when the sonic boom occurs. And how I'm almost going to lose threat on this mage regardless. And now we run away from the sonic boom, because that will do like 8,000 damage, which the mage somehow managed to get hit by and survive. Yeah, so our mage almost got one shot. Don't know how the mage actually survived that, given that it's a mage, because that almost one shot me. Maybe it was like a resist on that part. Hard to really know. Anyway, we pretty much got this. The Druid is... Alright, cool. We've got that back there. Alright, multiple people almost died from that. And I dinged. So that's pretty nice. Level 69. And it's got the Ragnaros animation. And loot that I can't use. So that's always good, but grats to the hunter. I can rebirth our mage. How is a mage getting hit by... I do have a question though. How is a mage getting hit by the sonic boom? I don't know. Anyway, our rogue almost died as well from that. And we need to do the Kara quest. I don't know why this is a beast. Why is it considered a beast mob? I'd call this more of an elemental. But anyway, we got the first fragment for the Kara attunement. And we are done. So that was the Shadow Labs. Pretty fun, pretty long dungeon.